Paul Kelly will break hearts with his new song that kills off the leading man and confirms the tragic love triangle of his Christmas classic, How to Make Gravy. Revered musical storyteller Paul Kelly shockingly kills off How to Make Gravy hero Joe with a drug overdose in his new song. But the lyrics of Rita Wrote a Letter, Kelly's much-anticipated sequel to his accidental Aussie Christmas classic, also suggest the jailbird cook died of a broken heart. In the new song, Kelly makes good on Joe's fears expressed in the December 24th letter. He writes in Gravy that his wife Rita and brother Dan might hook up while he was serving time. Almost 30 years after the pair enjoyed their dance on Christmas night, as written in the original 1996 song, Rita and Dan are expecting a baby. And with Joe out of the picture, it's better this way for his children. Kelly said after placing a public notice in a Melbourne newspaper earlier this week, informing the world of Joe's demise of sudden misadventure, many fans had sent him genuine condolences, convinced the Gravy character was a in-real-life, longtime friend of the songwriter. The song is a favorite among Kelly fans who celebrate Gravy Day every December 23rd and voted it into the top 10 of Triple J's recent Hottest 100 Australian Songs poll. Some people obviously think that I must have known a real Joe that I wrote this song about. They're thinking that real person Joe, that friend of mine, has died. I guess people often get fiction and real life mixed up, he said. His favorite fan response on social media posts sharing the public notice included, "Who's gonna dig the gravy?" and suggestions Joe's death was caused by mushroom gravy, referencing the Aaron Patterson murders. Rita Wrote a Letter is the first taste of Kelly's new record, 70, which will be released in November. Kelly said he had the title for follow-up to Gravy, exploring Rita's point of view of the ill-fated marriage 5 years ago. But it wasn't until his nephew and band member Dan Kelly sent him a rough piano demo 18 months ago that the lyrics for his black comedy sequel came tumbling out. He originally intended Rita Wrote a Letter to feature on last year's record, Fever, Longing Still, after his band fell in love with the sequel. But after consulting his friend Megan Washington, who co-wrote the screenplay for the binge film How to Make Gravy, he realized killing off Joe in November ahead of the film's December release might get fans offside. Of course I knew the film was coming out, and I called Megan up and said, "Look, I'm sorry, but I wrote this song, and I've accidentally killed off Joe in the song, and I better send it to you for a listen," Kelly said. And she said, "Please, please don't put it on this record." And I totally understand why not, to give the film the space it needed. Megan was totally right. It would have just been a bit awkward, a bit muddy, just confusing, so I'm glad we held it back. The comedic video for the single features Kelly as Joe and acclaimed actor Justine Clark as Rita. Of course I knew the film was coming out, and I called Megan up and said, "Look, I'm sorry, but I wrote this song, and I've accidentally killed off Joe in the song, and I better send it to you for a listen," Kelly said. And she said, "Please, please don't put it on this record." And I totally understand why not, to give the film the space it needed. Megan was totally right. It would have just been a bit awkward, a bit muddy, just confusing, so I'm glad we held it back. The comedic video for the single features Kelly as Joe and acclaimed actor Justine Clark as Rita. Rita Wrote a Letter by Paul Kelly. I really don't know how I'm talking. 6 feet down and under the clay. The laws of nature forbid it, but I was never good with rules anyway. The day I walked out of prison, I knew that I was still in stir. For the crime committed, I was still doing time behind the walls between me and her. Rita wrote a letter. I keep it with me every day. Rita wrote a letter, and this is what she had to say. She said, "Joe, I'm really sorry, but me and Dan, Our love is here to stay. With the kids, it's getting better. And now, a little baby's on the way. Well, they took me back on at the restaurant, but the new cook there had stolen my game. They put me on the dishes and the pots and pans. I was happy being busy again. And every night, when I came home with my back and feet all aching sore, I'd lay there in Mary's spare room, tossing till the break of dawn. Oh, Rita wrote a letter, one you don't want to get from your wife. When Rita writes a letter, the pen is sharper than the knife. She said, "Joe, I gave you good chances, but half a year turned into 2. You could never hold your temper, and you always made it all about you." Oh, the phone calls. They started to dwindle. Once they moved further up the coast, those silences that dragged on forever, I couldn't find the words I needed the most. One day, I went to see an old friend, and I brought a little package home. For old times' sake, sweet oblivion. But some things you shouldn't do alone. Yeah, Rita wrote a letter. I'm still hugging it under the clay. Rita wrote a letter. Deep down, I know it's better this way. And maybe she and Dan feel guilty. And the children sometimes cry at night. But I made my bed, I'm lying in it, and I know they're gonna be all right. Oh, Rita wrote a letter. I will always love her, be the ghost above her, hover all around her. But Dan, I don't forgive you. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. It's just my mind, it plays up, multiplies each matter.